Okay, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Taylor Hinton Speaks His Mind. It's December 22nd. We are all getting ready for Christmas. And today on our call, we are going to, of course, talk about some wins from our clients. We got Jesse and Raven here. And then after that, I'm going to talk you guys through. I'm going to share my screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to be able to get the entire cheat sheet, and you can screenshot it or whatever. You can just ask me for it. I'll send it over to you on Instagram if you want a copy as well. I'm going to walk you through my holiday cheat sheet on how you can stay in momentum with your fitness goals through the holidays without avoiding anything, enjoying everything and having fun. And that's how fitness is supposed to be. It's a lifelong journey. It's not about tracking your macros through the holidays and being perfect. It's about staying in momentum and enjoying life because that's why we get and stay fit in the first place. That's why we achieve our fitness goals, is so that we can enjoy everything outside of fitness. So I'm going to walk you guys through how you can do that and be guilt-free through the holidays. But before I do, a couple housekeeping items. First off, we have still the cold plunge and sauna event on January 3rd, 90 minutes, 10 a.m. PST, where we have blocked off the entire venue so that us and our clients can enjoy it together for an hour and a half. We're going to do a sauna. We got cold plunges. Everybody gets their own cold plunge. There's going to be some snacks. There's going to be a fire. Everyone's going to get a t-shirt. Everyone's also going to get a $200 gift card to give to a family member or friend who they believe deserves, should come join Hinton Nation as well. And it's $100. So it's $100 for you to join in on the event. You get the t-shirt. You get the gift card to give to somebody else that's valued at $200. And you're getting entered in to win a $200 gift card supplement pack. So that's going to be a random draw of all the people who join for this event. So I'm really excited for that. Somebody just secured another 2 spots for them and a family member. So that means that there are 4 remaining at the time of this call. Again, this is going until January 3rd. So spots are available until the day of if you want to jump in on that. And then finally, we have our holiday sprint challenge. I have somebody who is pulling away from the rest of the pack, but time is not up. We still have today and tomorrow to win the $500 cash prize. Very simple, very straightforward. This is just for clients, so I'm just bragging, making everybody else jealous who's not a client. But essentially, all they got to do is do everything that we asked them to do in the first place through the holidays. This last 6 weeks of the year, from November 15th until December 31st, is when everyone gains 80% of their annual weight gain. It's not typically this slow increase in weight over time. It's mostly maintaining weight, maybe gaining a few pounds here and there. Excuse me. And then the last 6 weeks is where people gain about 80% of their annual weight gain, and then they just don't get it off. So year after year after year, holidays come around. We've got Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Everyone piles on weight, and then they maintain that for the next year. And then they pile on weight, and they maintain that for the next year. So that's how that weight comes on over time. And all we're asking our clients to do is keep tracking your food the way you're supposed to. Keep getting your workouts, keep getting your steps in, and simply post on your stories on Instagram and tag myself and my wife, Angela, the other coach inside this program, with the hashtag Team Hinton Nation. And if you've been doing that every single day, then you're in line to win that challenge. If we have more than one person who's followed all those steps between now and the final day, which is going to be tomorrow, then we're going to have to draw a winner out of the people who have successfully completed the entire challenge. So excited for that. I think we are going to have to do a little draw at the end because there are a couple people who have followed all the way through. But with that being said, let's get into our holiday cheat sheet. Ooh, one sec though. We've got Jasmine, Jesse, and Raven all here to share a win. We're going to start with Raven, then go to Jesse, and then Jasmine. Raven, go ahead and unmute, share a win.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My wins are I put in an extra workout last week,
Ooh,
and
okay.
for an unexpected road trip today, I packed snacks, prioritizing protein to get that in on the road.
Damn, that's awesome. Okay, what made you decide to do an extra workout last week?
I had finished them for the week, and I had Saturday and Sunday with nothing to do. Instead of just being lazy and staying in bed and watching trash TV, I decided to get up and be productive.
Hell yeah, I love that. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Jesse, go ahead and unmute.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Jesse is my sister, by the
Um,
way, and
Hi
Angela's
there,
friend.
brother.
Hello there, sister. What's your win?
My win this week is I'm getting really, really close to getting an unassisted pull up. My strength has been
Ooh,
really increasing, and this week I'm going to be using a lighter band. So I'm doing the
nice.
banded ones right now, but they're like getting easy with the heavy band, which is really freaking cool.
That's
So,
badass. And then soon enough, you're going to be doing some muscle ups.
oh yeah, I'll be repping that sheet out.
Hell yeah. Love it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Jasmine is next. We got Aubrey who popped in. So, Aubrey, get ready to share a win as well. Jasmine, share a win.
Hello. So, my win would be so far this week is getting up at 4 o'clock this morning to go to the gym. Because my kids are home for the holidays, so the only time I really have is to go in the morning this week and next week. So, and we're all sick, so I consider it a win that I went.
Nice. That is badass. That is a win. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. That's great. Aubrey, I know your win is not watching Sunday football, sucker. Just kidding. Aubrey is a
That's
VIP
rude.
client,
That's
and
just
we
rude.
we have our weekly calls every Monday, so we're gonna touch on that a little bit more soon. But give me your win, Aubrey.
I caught up on my workouts, which I had one rollover from last week.
Yep.
So I did 5 workouts this week.
Okay.
And also, I'm on a road trip right now, and I packed some protein cereal to snack on and got my Diet Cokes lined up.
Hell yeah, good. Yeah, Diet Cokes are an absolute lifesaver when it comes to weight loss, everybody. If you are not smashing a couple Diet Cokes every single day, you are doing yourself a disservice and you're making it harder to lose weight. Why? Because it tastes good, the bubbles fill you up, and it hydrates you. And it's not going to give you cancer and make you grow an eye in between your forehead. So you should be fine. Maybe you will grow an eye. I don't know. If you do, then cool. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thanks so much for sharing. Let's get into it, everybody. Holiday cheat sheet. Let's break it down. I've been using this as something just like my own personal mental process with going through the holidays. Ever since I started tracking my food, which was 2016. We are coming up on, holy shit, 10 years. My gosh. I've been weighing and tracking my food for 10 years. Can you believe that? So this is basically everything that I have downloaded from my brain into this cheat sheet over the last 10 years of experience of tracking my food and staying on top of my goals through the holidays. I'm going to be fully transparent though, guys. I'm going to tell you everything here that's going to help you with your health and fitness goals and navigating through the holidays. And then I'm also going to tell you what I do, okay? And I'll start off by telling you what I do. I'm a glutton by heart. Like by nature, I love to eat. I eat a lot. If I am not tracking or if I have no specific goal, then I can eat and eat and eat. And I'm talking about like eating until you're full and then finding more room and going and eating more. Like I can eat until I'm sick. And I never used to be able to do this until I did a bodybuilding competition back in 2017. That's when I started tracking my food, 2016, in like September, October, or something like that, and learning it, and then did a show in May of 2017. And I've been tracking my food since then. And I never, ever, ever used to be a glutton. I used to just eat until I was content and I was good to go. And I'm not like ashamed of this. It's not like I don't think that it's a problem for me because I have a really good balanced health and fitness lifestyle. So I've been able to basically be a complete asshole through the holidays when it comes to my food and still maintain my physique and my fitness because I'm not unfit, straight up. I've been fit for a long time. I've been healthy for a long time. And having a few days where I go completely off the rails doesn't end up leading to me gaining weight repeatedly throughout the rest of the year because I lock my shit right back in. I start tracking my food. I stay on top of everything. And I know what's good for me. I know what works really well with me and my body. And over time, as you get better and better at tracking, you get closer and closer to your goals. Intuitive eating becomes something that you can actually practice on a daily basis when you've achieved your fitness goals. So if that offers any type of sentiment to you guys, then understand that like there is quote like light at the end of the tunnel of tracking your food all the time. You're not going to have to do it all the time. I like doing it because it just makes things on autopilot. It makes it really easy for me. But let's get right into it, okay? So when it comes to your food tips, and by the way, for all my clients, you have access to this sheet already, by the way. It's in the resource section inside your app. If you go to resources and then nutrition, you're going to find the holiday cheat sheet in there. It might be in another resource as well. It might be in ebooks as well. I'm actually certain that it's in ebooks more than I am certain that it's in the nutrition folder. Either way, you'll have access to this and all the clickable links within it. I haven't opened this up for a year, full transparency. So there may be some things that don't work. We'll see. In terms of like the clickable links, but I'll make sure that they do in the event that they don't. We're starting off with food tips. Okay, first off, do you know what your macros should be? Get yours calculated for free. That's where people can go ahead and click it, and then they would get their macro calculator. For clients, you already know yours because you pay for this service, and you already know exactly where you need to be. It's even more precise than if you are not a client. But if you are not a client and you do receive this, this is going to take a look at all of your basic statistics and break it down for you, calculate it so that you have a good idea of where you should be. Okay, incorporating protein powder is tip number 2. Oat flour or coconut flour and 0-calorie sweeteners in your baking for lower calories in your desserts. So go make the same recipes that you did last year. There's nothing wrong with that. But incorporating some protein powder, like just if you have, like if your recipe calls for, a cup of white flour, why don't we go with like 3/4 cup of coconut flour and then 1/4 cup of some protein powder instead? The coconut flour, or instead of having full ass sugar, you could just swap it out for some 0-calorie sweetener. Like we use xanthan gum, stevia. I put that in my coffees. We put that in like Greek yogurt bowls because we get plain 0% Greek yogurt. So when I'm making that delicious protein yogurt bowl that you see me posting on my stories all the time, I'm always sprinkling like 15 grams of 0-calorie sweetener in there because one, if you haven't tried it, 0% plain Greek yogurt, very bitter. And then if I add cocoa powder into that as well, whoo, you guys know that is super, super bitter too. So adding in some sweetener can kind of simplify it, make it a little bit more palatable. On top of that, of course, I might be adding in some honey and some berries, just giving it some texture, different sweetness in that sense too. It doesn't mean that, again, like you don't have to rewrite the entire recipe. Just take the recipe that you already have and then find the swaps that you can easily make that are going to make your foods a little bit more fiber rich and a little bit less calorie dense. So that would be tip number 2. Tip number 3, drink more water than normal. Okay. It's going to help you flush out the extra sodium because inevitably you are absolutely going to be getting way more sodium in your diet through the holidays, all these family dinners, all these grandma's recipes that we're going to be eating, the sweets, all the baking. There's going to be a lot more sodium and sugar that is going to lead to some water retention. So don't freak out when you weigh yourself the next morning and you're up 5 pounds, okay? It is not fat. It is water retention because of all the sodium and the sugar and straight up the food that's sitting in your stomach. You're probably eating way more calories than you normally do on the holiday dinner. So if you weigh yourself the very next morning and you think that is fat, you are going to go into a spiral. Chill out. You got a lot of food in your stomach, and a lot of it is carbs and sugar and sodium, and that is bloating you. So drinking lots of water, more than normal, is going to help you flush that out and help you just get right back on track, okay? It's also going to help you feel more full so you don't overconsume. And this is a super helpful tip. And this comes back, like we can even touch on what Aubrey talked about with like having our diet sodas. When you're having your holiday dinners, have a couple sodas on deck with you too. So when you're eating that dinner, sip on that soda in between your bites. It's going to help you fill your stomach up a little bit more. You're going to feel just as satisfied, just as full as you normally do, but with extra 0 calories filling your stomach. It's going to make it so that you don't undo all your progress that you worked so hard for, okay? 40% of your plate should be a lean protein source. And I need to emphasize the lean protein source because I don't know why meatloaf is in my head right now, but it is. I don't know who's having meatloaf on Christmas dinner, but that, like, you could, if you don't track your food, or if you never tracked meatloaf, like, it is not a quality protein source. Yes, there is meat in it, but that doesn't mean automatically that it's a good protein source. Meatloaf, if you were having that, or ribs, or put in the chat here, guys. I want to hear what your like protein source is going to be for Christmas holidays, or what you think it's going to be if somebody else is making. I want to see 1, 2, 3, 4 people have different comments. I want to see what you guys are going to have as a protein source, and I'll let you know if this is something that you're going to want to load up on or something you're going to be more conservative with. But 40% of your plate should be a protein source, meaning that you can and still should have the mashed potatoes and the stuffing and the grilled veggies and whatever else is added in there Have it all. Have the Yorkshire pudding. Have the cranberry sauce. Don't avoid anything. Put gravy all over your plate. There's no problem with that. But start building your plate around 40% of a lean protein source. That's one, going to, of course, help you hit your protein because you're going to be eating a ton of food. But two, just like we know, with water and fiber, protein also helps keep you feeling more full. And that's the kicker here. That's the whole thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to employ a little bit of intuitive eating and listening to our stomach and our fullness cues. So if you're going to feel literally just as satisfied. I see 3 comments right now. I'm waiting for one more from somebody else in here. If you're driving and you're listening to this, pass your phone to the person who's in the passenger seat. Tell them to type out what you need to do for your protein, what's going to be on the plate, okay? But if 40% of your plate is protein and you can still enjoy everything else, that means that you're checking both boxes. You're getting nice and full, which you want to have. You want to have that full, nice feeling where you sit down on the couch, you unbuckle your pants and go, right? You want that. We all want that. So load up on the protein because it's going to help you with it. And it's going to be delicious anyways. Let's see what kind of chats we have so far. We've got Jasmine has turkey or chicken. Awesome. Both of them great protein sources, including chicken thigh. It's good. It's going to have a little bit more fat in it, but that's totally fine. Jesse's having some roast, so that's some roast beef, I imagine. It's going to have a little more fat in it. That's cool too. Raven's having the turkey. Cool. Okay, good. It can be white meat. It can be dark meat. I don't care. Enjoy it. Have your fun. Load up your plate with 40% protein, okay? Let me come back to my sheet here. There we go. And we're still waiting on, who is it? Is it Raven that still needs to put it in the chat? Raven. Dun, 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 dun. Make sure you put it in there. Is Raven actually?
It's Aubrey. I'm driving.
Aubrey, pass your phone to somebody else.
I don't have anybody else.
Oh, no. Okay, fine. What is it then? What's your protein?
We're having enchiladas.
Okay.
So not a secluded protein.
Okay, that's fine. And it's all like built in together, right? Like you're going to go grab an enchilada from the thing and put it on your plate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not going to have that real high quality lean protein source. That's fine. Have a protein shake right before dinner. Don't fill it up all the way so it's all water and then you can't have all the food. Fill it up like halfway. Have the protein shake. It's literally 120 calories. It's not going to make a dent. It's going to make you feel way more full. And it's just like your insurance policy to ensure that you have enough protein for that meal, okay? Eat lean meats, have the veggies, of course, right? A little bit of everything on your plate. Point number, what is this? 4? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. Keep protein high and fats low for other meals. This is so helpful when you're doing some intuitive eating. This is such a good way to practice it, right? Because we're not doing it forever and ever and ever. April's having ham. That's an awesome protein source too. Go ahead, load up. 40% of your plate should be ham. Your other meals, aside from that Christmas dinner, prioritize lots of protein in those and lower the fats that you normally have. So for me, I typically have 6 eggs, and I always tell people like 3 slices of sourdough. Well, we have some different sourdough now. It's about 120 grams, 4 to 5 slices, depending if I'm having one of the little end pieces or not. But about 120, maybe 150 sometimes grams of sourdough bread with 6 whole eggs. Christmas dinner, the morning of, before we pack up and head over to my mom's place, I'm just going to have 2 whole eggs because there's tons of micronutrients and vitamins in the egg. It's nature's multivitamin. I'm not going to skip it. But 2 whole eggs, and I'm going to have 4 egg whites, or I don't think we have egg whites right now. I'll just have a scoop of protein powder. Okay, so I'm keeping the protein just as high as I normally would for breakfast, but I'm lowering the calories dramatically by cutting out a lot of the fats in the yolk. Same thing with the bread. Instead of having 120 grams or like 4 or 5 slices of those mini slices of bread that we have right now, I'll just have 3 of those slices instead. Going to be somewhere around 70 grams of sourdough bread. So I don't need to have 120, 140 grams of sourdough. I don't need to be just as full as I normally am at breakfast. I'm cool with being a little bit hungry for the first half of the day, knowing that at night I'm going to load up and eat like an absolute pig, right? It's going to help you just, again, focus on hitting protein, find the areas where you have some extra fats in your breakfast and lunch, lower those a little bit because fats are most calorie-dense macronutrient that we have. It's the easiest thing to kind of cut out, and then you can overload on dinner and kind of carry your momentum, be guilt-free, and enjoy. It's not going to mean that you're going to balance out your macros perfectly. We're not going for that anyways, but it is going to give you a little bit of damage control, make it a little bit easier. exercise tips. Let's break it down. Okay. 10 to 20 minute workouts that can be done at home in a pinch. This is for people who are not clients. They can click here, boom. And I don't know if it's showing you guys, but it directs you automatically to a workout library that I've created on YouTube with some little circuit-based at-home body weight workouts just to get you going, just to keep moving and doing your thing. Clients, you have full access to all of these already inside resources. There's the training section or exercise section, or I think it's called workouts in resources. And you can find all of those there. Or at the very least, everybody, spend whatever your normal time is that you have a workout. So if you have a workout scheduled Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and you're like, I'm not going to do it. First off, that's your call. You can or can't. It's depending on, your situation. Maybe you're traveling for the holidays or something and you don't have access to your normal stuff. But if you're at home, I would say, dude, hey, get a workout in. You're not working, right? It's the day off. You might as well get into the gym and crush a bunch of weights first, drain all the glycogen out of your muscles, and then load back up at dinner time. Nothing stopping you from doing that. But if you can't, or straight up, you don't feel like it, I support that. That's okay. Replace that time that you would be in the gym crushing a workout with an hour-long walk. Keep your body moving. That's the most important thing with your fitness journey, is that you're not just tracking your food and your calories. You're not just doing your workouts. You're not just barely hitting your 10,000 steps a day because you have to. You're an active, fit, healthy person as part of your identity. You make time for fitness no matter what. When I strained, or whatever the technical term would have been, my patellar tendon prior to my High Rocks race that I just did a couple days ago, I had 2.5 weeks where I could not run. And this is a fucking race. It is a running race event where the number one thing that you can do to benefit yourself in this race is to practice your running. In 2.5 out of my 8-week prep, I could not run. There's actually a whole week where it hurt to just walk around. But I didn't skip a workout. I still went to the gym. I got onto the bike, and I would hit that as hard as I could for like whatever, 10 minutes or 50 calories or whatever. And then I'd go over to the ski erg where I don't have to run. I'm just standing on a platform using my arms mostly, right? And then I would go over to the rowing machine and I would do that. So I'm still getting my cardio in, navigate injuries and the holidays, being creative. Fit, healthy people don't just stop exercising because one little ligament or joint or even a broken hand happens, right? Yeah, rest a day or two if you broke your hand, get in a cast, take your fucking pain meds, get to the gym and do some single arm stuff. Nothing stopping you when you have the right mindset. If you are a healthy, fit person and you adopt that identity, then this will be easy for you to do, okay? Keep working out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but keep your damn body moving, okay? Set a short-term goal to work towards through the holidays. That's one of the reasons why we have this $500 holiday sprint challenge that we are doing, because we need to stay mentally locked in through the holidays. That doesn't mean, again, that you're weighing out your dinners and foods. I'm telling you, go have fun, eat whatever you want, do your thing. But that doesn't mean that the whole month of December you take off and you just, oh, okay, I'm going to wait until, January or some bullshit like that. That's absolutely R word. But I won't use that. I've got my calculator up on my computer because I just want to break this down for you guys. Like, what is 11 divided by 12? Like, if you were only doing your fitness for 11 out of 12 months, if you took a whole month off every single year, you're 91%, right? And that's assuming that you're perfect. You don't miss a workout. You track your food 7 days a week perfectly. You're getting your 10,000 whatever step goal is that you have. Assuming you're doing everything perfect 11 months out of the year, you're at most at 91%. That's not bad. But you're not perfect. You're not doing it perfectly all the time. You're probably executing somewhere between 80 and 90% if you're getting good results. You're executing at probably 80 to 90% precision, consistency, accuracy, effort throughout the entire year. And then if you were to take an entire month off arbitrarily because you're like, oh, well, this is the time of year when it's colder and I get to just relax. No, chill. Like, you got to stick to it. So set some type of short-term goal, whether it's like, hey, I want to lose like 3 pounds in December before the holidays start because I know that I'm going to overeat and I want to like really dial things in right now. Cool. Go ahead and set a weight goal. Maybe it's a measurements goal. Maybe it's a strength goal. Maybe it's an end of month total step goal where you're like, I'm going to hit 200,000 steps or something by the end of the year. What would that even be? I'm just curious. I just made that random number up. 2,000, that's 200,000 divided by 30 means that you'd have to get, that would be so damn easy. Are you kidding me? Less than 7,000 steps a day? Geez. we should realistically be doing like 400, 500,000 steps if you were setting yourself a step goal. Like push it, Go ahead and set something that's realistic, but something that makes you actively work towards it, and it's going to make your holidays way better. Low barrier entry goals are best. A month of a step target or max pull-up challenge for time, right? Like how many total pull-ups can you get in a 10-minute window or a 5-minute window? Or how many body weight squats can you get? How many times can you go up and down the stairs that are by your kid's school in a 20-minute window? Simple things like that, right? Don't waste time with extra cardio. If you feel the need to push harder or do an extra set of your weights, that will give you a better result and save more time. So what I mean by that is like if you're feeling like, man, like I'm going to undo everything through the holidays. First off, no, you won't. 2, punishing yourself with extra exercise, right, is not the way to go about it. There's a difference between making up for time that you're not doing in the gym by getting your steps up versus like trying to overcompensate with extra activity because you're not sticking to your normal routine. First off, stick to your normal routine. Second off, getting yourself some extra steps in replacement of a workout is a way that we can creatively navigate through the holidays and stay on track. But if you're like, I'm going to keep doing all my workouts, plus I'm going to add in another hour of cardio every day. I'm going to run on the treadmill for an hour because I'm trying to make up for my inevitable like fuckery on the holidays. That's like a bad mindset to have. We're not trying to overcompensate by punishing ourselves. We're trying to navigate, be creative, and stay in momentum. Does that make sense, everybody? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense. All right, and I'm going to go to the next tip here. Or yes, sir, or I gotcha, or that makes sense, or woohoo, or whatever you want. Put that something in the chat here so I know you guys are paying attention, you're listening up, all right? Let's see it. What do we got? Raven's like, yep. What else do we got in here? Who else? Jesse? Woohoo, Jesse says. Aubrey, Jasmine, where you at? April's like, yep, got it, locked in.
Sorry, I cut out there for a second. What was the last thing you said?
Does it make sense talking about the difference between like punishing yourself for not doing, punishing yourself because you know you're going to overeat on the holidays versus navigating and being creative around your workouts so you can stay in momentum? Yep, she says. Aubrey's like, hell yeah, got it. Okay, cool. She didn't say hell yeah. She gave me a thumbs up or something. Okay, alcohol tips. Set limits in advance. Decide prior to the event how many drinks you're going to have and stick with it. If you're going to a holiday dinner for work, you're going to a family's place or friend's place or something, don't show up and then have all this booze in front of you and then be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do whatever I want today and erase it and just like drink like, whatever and get super wasted and wake up with a huge hangover. Decide in advance, right? This is how you can be a little better prepared. Be like, you know what? Tonight, it's the holidays. I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to get an Uber or my husband's driving or whatever. I'm going to have 3-4 drinks and I'm just going to chill on that. It's not even about how much alcohol you're having. Like that's such a short-sighted, like that's a surface level component of what we're talking about. But the deep rooted reason why you're doing this is because you're committing to something and you're sticking to your promises. That's it. At a basic level, you're somebody who creates boundaries for yourself and you stick with it, because when you create boundaries, that ultimately leads to freedom. When you're somebody who can set a goal and you can commit to it and you stick with that, you feel a lot more prepared. You feel a lot more confident in yourself. You're building consistency. You're building good quality habits. And that's not a bad thing. That gives you ultimate freedom over your choices for the long haul. So set a limit on what you're going to have. Don't just be like, yeah, okay, we'll figure it out when I get there. No, you know who figures it out along the way? People who are ill-prepared and don't get results long-term. Again, if you decide you're like, I'm going to have five drinks, fine, do it. You know you're not doing this regularly. You know that that's not a part of a healthy, fit lifestyle all the time. But neither is when I'm indulging on 6, 7 countless treats at the end of the night and having the one night of the year where I decide to actively get drunk. I'm doing that. I plan on it. That's what my plan is. Whatever your plan is, identify it, stick with it, and then feel a lot better about your decisions the next day. Plan for the worst case scenario. Will you be able to drive in case of an emergency? Have a non-alcoholic backup, soda water, diet sodas are great options. You could also just like bring some Crystal Light packs with you from the grocery store, right? Go get it at the grocery store, even on your way, and then put that in your water and then chug a bunch of water while you are also having your delicious meal, enjoying as much food as you want at the same time. The Crystal Light packs, everybody, it's in the same section as like the bottled water, the Gatorades, and all that stuff. You'll find them in these little boxes. Normally, they'll come in like packs of 10, and they're all 0 calorie. You just crack open a little pack, sprinkle it in your water. Even like half of one of them is like a really good amount of sweetener. It's going to really change your flavor of your water, obviously. We also use that. A lot of you already know this, but we already use that inside of our Greek yogurt bowls. If we're just having something really simple, I typically add, a bunch of stuff inside of it, including some protein powder and some peanut butter powder. But if I just wanted something really light where I wasn't adding extra calories and I just wanted something sweet, just having some plain Greek yogurt and then stirring in a pack of Crystal Light, 0 calories, gives you the flavor of the flavored Greek yogurt without all the extra calories from sugar. Okay. So yeah, bring a couple diet sodas with you, bring a pack of Crystal Lights or whatever, and you put that in your water too. And it just helps you like enjoy everything without, feeling like you're undoing all your progress. Communicate with your family and friends. This is something some people are going to, some people aren't, but this might be really helpful for you, especially if you have non-supportive family members or friends and like people who are expecting you to get, fucked up or eating all their treats or something like that. Like, let them know, man, like I'm so excited, can't wait, I'm going to eat. And when you decide to stop eating, just commit to that and don't bother going ahead and over explaining yourself. You don't owe anybody an explanation of how much you're eating. Just enjoy what you're having, eat until you're full, not stuffed, right? And enjoy the holidays, but don't feel the need to be peer pressured into eating everybody's food and having multiple servings of it when you're already full. When you're full and you're done, right? The best practice for this, honestly, might just be not even talking about it at all, because then you can just worry about yourself. And if people are like forcing food down your throat, like that says a lot about them and maybe like their personal insecurities. But yeah, it might be helpful for some of you to communicate with family and friends and tell them early that you're not going to be exceeding your limit. You're like, hey, like I'm only having a few drinks. I am going to be driving, or in that case, maybe you're just having one or something like that. So that nobody's like pressuring you into having more than you actually need. Mindset tips. Focus on enjoying the holiday season. Allow yourself to indulge in the festivities without guilt. You're going to overeat. You're going to have a lot more food, a lot more sugar, a lot more treats than you normally do. It's fucking Christmas. It's the best time of the year. It's my favorite time of year. I hope that it is for everybody else too, but if it's not, whatever. Just don't go into it negotiating with yourself. Like I said earlier, if you're like, set a limit for how much food and alcohol you're going to have. It doesn't have to be a super tight limit. You can enjoy and have more than normal. You should, in my opinion, but just stick with that and enjoy it and be guilt-free and just understand that this is one day out of the year that's not going to undo all the hard work that you've been putting in the other 364, okay? Practice moderation. Enjoy your favorite foods. Have some reasonable portions. You don't need to have the entire slice of pumpkin pie or whatever. Have a smaller slice, right? Or ask, a family member if they want to share one with you because you're feeling a little more full. You don't want a whole slice, whatever. Enjoy everything. Just don't eat until you're stuffed. Like, this is the intuitive eating part, everybody. This is the part where you're not weighing and tracking everything out, but you're being mindful. You've been tracking and weighing your food for at least a couple months, maybe a year or longer, depending on how long you've been here. You should know within a couple months what a good portion of food is and what's too much and what's like on the smaller side too. So load up your plate with with everything, including that 40% protein, and eat until you're full, not stuffed. That's the number one tip that I have for you, is don't stuff yourself, because your body is going to tell you when you've had enough food, and you need to listen to it. And the best way to do that is to start off small, have your water and diet sodas, your Crystal Light packs or whatever. Take smaller take smaller bites, chew your food thoroughly. Don't scarf your food down super fast. And when you're done your first plate, you're thinking about having another, wait 20 minutes. Like, everyone's chilling and enjoying, company and everything too. Maybe they're pulling out snacks in between meals. Have some of those snacks. Drink some more of the water. Let your stomach settle. And in 20 minutes after eating, you're probably going to feel full enough to not really need much. Or maybe if you do, you're going to have a smaller plate than you would if you just finished your plate, like you inhaled it as fast as you could and went back for seconds and inhaled that plate as well. You don't need to do that. It's going to make it harder for you. At the end of the day, if you feel just as full on 1,000 less calories, you're going to do way better at sticking with your goals. Okay? Celebrate wins beyond the scale. Embrace how you feel, your improved energy, better sleep, any positive changes that you notice. This is the time when it's like, hey, the scale is not your friend. But what about your consistency? What about your efforts? What about, your PRs in the gym, how much more weight you're lifting in a couple different lifts? Like, focus on those things over the next few days. Those are the things that I want you to be more mindful of, and I want you to celebrate. Don't be obsessed with the scale. It's not going to do you any good, okay? Are you next? This is for everybody else, obviously, who's not a client. If you're not a client and you're thinking about it, man, This is the time to do it. Okay, message me. I'm ready on Instagram if that's something you want some help with. We'll have a chat. Make sure we're a good fit. Make sure you're a good fit for me and my community. And if we are, then we'll talk about what some options are for you to get started. Before we go, though, we got a few clients that are still kicking around. Unmute, share your biggest takeaway from this. What do we want to call this again? Yeah, holiday cheat sheet. Go ahead. Jesse, I'm going to call on you first. What's your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is the drinking one because I mean, you know how I am on Christmas. I never think about it. I'm just like, have as many drinks as we feel like having. So I think setting a limit for myself before I go into it is like going to be really, really useful and helpful for me.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. I love it.
Yeah.
Raven, you're next.
My biggest takeaway is prioritizing the 40% protein meat on the plate.
Nice. 40% protein, meat on your plate. Enjoy everything else. Good. Love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you popping on. Jasmine, share your win. Share your takeaway.
Sorry, I was gone.
You're cutting out there. You were gone. Yes, you were. And she left. She probably has a client. I know she's back. She's like literally working while she is listening in, and I appreciate her for taking the time. All good. Oh, she popped back on. Jasmine, your audio was a little bit messed up. What was your takeaway from this training today?
Sorry about that. I'm not even sure what happened, but my takeaway is going to be focusing for.
You cut out again, damn it. But you 40% protein on your plate. Is that what you were saying? Yep. I'm going to take that as what her win is. She had to pop off again. She's got some internet stuff going on. It's that East Coast, Ontario internet connection. I hear it sucks over there. BC's where it's at. Join the 21st century, everybody. Okay, that's it, everybody. I hope you have an amazing holidays. I will see you on Wednesday for, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be the 24th. That's Christmas Eve. For all of our clients, hey, we're going to be taking Wednesday and Thursday, that's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, off of work. So if you have check-ins on those days, go ahead and fill them out. You'll get a response back on